Thinking about buying a home, but not sure whether you should pay off your debts. This video is for you. It's a common question I get. People are starting to look through their finances, figuring out a game plan for purchasing a home. Should I pay off my debts before I buy my home, or should I buy the home first? Stay tuned. All right, Matt the Mortgage Guy, residential mortgage broker, powered by You Mortgage, licensed in 48 states. Go to greatmortgagebroker.com to connect with me and my team. So in today's video, I want to talk about, should I buy off debts? Like a lot of things that are mortgage related, it all depends. But I'll give you some things to think about, help you figure out for your specific scenario, because it's not a one size fits all in mortgage or anything financial, to be completely honest. But this video hopefully helps you kind of figure out what you want to be the game plan, right? And so things to consider, things to think about on whether or not you personally should be paying off debts before buying a home. The first thing to consider is, what are your monthly debt payments? How does that fit into the overall budget when it comes to housing payment, car payment, revolving credit card debt, whatever the case may be, because it will affect what you qualify for. And I've done lots of videos on this, but just for a quick example, numbers to think about. If $10,000 a month is your income number, the lender is going to want your mortgage payment plus all your debts to be at or below somewhere in the 45% range. And, you know, truth be told, you do too as well want those payments to be at or below 45% of your income. So $10,000 a month in income, 45% of that is $4,500. If you've got $900 between car, credit card, student loan payments, you're going to have $3,600-ish left in qualifying mortgage payment. And then you back down with the current interest rates, with the purchase price, what you're able to afford that fits underneath $3,600 a month, right? And so it will have an effect on how much you qualify for. So you want to be cognizant of how much monthly debt you have in that sense. Also, paying down debt may affect your credit score. If you have high balances on credit cards, not only is it affecting your budget and what you can afford to pay in a mortgage payment every month and what you can qualify for in a mortgage payment, but it might be pulling down your credit. If you got a $10,000 limit, you've got 98, 94 balance on a credit card. Debt utilization, how much you owe versus what the credit limit is, has a big effect on your credit score. And so the terms you're going to get on any loan you take, including a mortgage, are going to be affected by that credit score. So maybe you pay off that credit card, your credit score goes from 685 to 742. Now you're in a better position because you don't have that $300 a month payment, and your credit score is better, offering you better mortgage interest rates, right? So that's one to think about. When it comes to down payment, a lot of people are under the false impression that I need 20% down on a home. And so they're not going to pay off their debt because they want to put 20% down on their home, where, truth be told, they'd be a lot better served taking 10% of that down payment, paying off all of their debt. Some of the credit card debt nowadays is 25, 27, 29%. Pay that stuff off. Free up $300, $500, $700 a month in monthly liabilities. You'll be surprised the 10% down payment versus the 20% down payment is much better used paying off credit cards, and then, you know, your mortgage is $220 more per month, or whatever that number shakes out to be by putting a smaller down payment. Mortgage insurance rates for putting less than 20% down are lower than ever. So the age-old myth that, like, avoid mortgage insurance at all costs, it's really not that expensive in today's market, right? It used to be 5, 6+ years ago. Nowadays, especially if you've got good credit, mortgage insurance is a lot less of a factor. Some people want to have an emergency fund, which I agree with. And I think that that's a good idea where, you don't necessarily want to pay off all your debt, throw all your money at a down payment, and then be left with nothing in the bank. So this is something to consider, right? Where maybe you keep $10,000 in the bank. You got a small balance, but you got plans to pay off that credit card balance. And then you've got your down payment and closing cost funds allocated to the housing payment. But think about that. Have that in mind. Home ownership is beautiful, creates long-term wealth, but it's not all sunshine and rainbows. You might have to replace a water heater. You might have to repair a roof. You might have to do something like that. So have an emergency fund. Keep that as part of the things you're considering as you're going to purchase a home. Last but not least, consult a mortgage advisor that can give you numbers, give you the data that allows you to run and analyze. What's it going to look like if I put 5% down? What's it going to look like if I put 10% down? How much would I qualify if I paid off this debt? Start to run some of those numbers. Trust me when I tell you, sitting in this seat as a mortgage advisor, not enough people ask these questions, either of the advisor or of themselves. They just make emotional decisions based on the fact, I want to own a home, right? Slow down a minute, take the time, just look at your financial situation and say, you know what? I'd be in a lot better spot if I paid off these credit card debts. The other byproduct of that is your credit score is going to improve. And, then I realized taking on a $3,200 mortgage is more than I thought when I initially started looking at this a year ago. But if I didn't pay $400 a month in credit card payments, and I got to get out of this apartment that's $2,800 a month and keeps going up every year, that $3,200 a month as a mortgage payment is feasible. Hopefully this was helpful. As always, if you have any questions at all, greatmortgagebroker.com. Connect with me and my team. Shoot us an email, team@mtmg.com. We're happy to answer your questions. If you want to connect with an agent anywhere in the country, homeandmoney.com/Matt. Finally, if you find value in these videos, share it with friends, leave me a comment, subscribe to the channel. I'm just going to keep making videos about things you're probably going to want to know if you're thinking about buying or refinancing a home. That's all I do all day, every day. I try to put out videos that help. So if you've got ideas on things that you want to hear me talk about, feel free to leave those in the comments below. greatmortgagebroker.com. Thanks for watching. Talk to you soon.